We almost see both sides of it out there, where clicking going forward, but maybe other areas that still need brushed up on. Would that be fair?
Yeah. Well, it's only been a few weeks, so we're working ever so hard. The players are working so hard to get to grips with what the manager's asking us to do. Some fantastic players with massive quality, so the more that we can get them on the ball and creating chances, then that'll be good. And then we just keep working every day to get better on the defensive side as well.
Especially in your leadership role here, and overseeing things and being the link between manager and player, how do you feel players are adapting to this new style?
Yeah, they're working ever so hard, as you'd expect, but really happy with the way the players are applying themselves, being asked to do a lot, change a lot in terms of what the manager's looking for, and every 3 days is a game, so it's difficult, but the players are working so hard and really well the last couple of games. You can see it start to come together, so big credit has to go to them as well.
How close do you think it is to clicking, and how much still further to go?
Yeah, well, obviously game by game we've seemed to get better, so we have to keep working. It's always the same, even when you're doing well, you got to keep working hard to stay on it. So there's a lot to improve on, but we will keep working, and obviously the aim is to win this league, so every 3 days we've got to be there and competing and being ready to push.
Well, Benjamin, you are the William Hill Premiership Player of the Match. Callum, if you could do the honours, please.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Passes, you've got the players that can outnumber the defenders, but if you play square passes, then it's inviting pressure. Kieran Tierney with the square pass, which is a bit blind. And then for me, as soon as Montano takes his touch, you know he's getting away from Yang. Anthony Ralston has to engage. Yeah. He has to step forward. He cannot back off. He's almost backing off into a position which he feels is safety for him. But he takes himself totally out of the game, because not only does he back off, he actually steps to his left-hand side, inviting Montano to run on and strike it with his left foot. It's brilliant for Montano, because he recognises that he can go and win it. He drives forward, he's positive, he gets a real clean strike, and the goalkeeper's got no chance. But if you're going to play square passes against teams, they're going to be brave enough to say, right, that's when you go. You're not getting overwhelmed with numbers going forward and passes round the corner, which they did at times during the second half. But if you're going to play square passes, it's great for Montano. Ralston has to step forward for me. If he steps forward, it makes a difficult decision for Montano there. But credit to him, he drives forward and it's a brilliant finish.
It is, and we saw sort of very early on, and I mean it is early on in Nancy's time at Celtic, but his first couple of games, edginess and nerves would creep into Celtic's game. But they look now far more confident in the knowledge that they can score goals, that they will create chances, and it didn't take them very long to get themselves back level.
But I think a lot of that comes to the individual players they have in their team. If you get the players into positions where they can go and hurt the opposition, then a lot of the time they will create, and they did. Listen, they have that threat from set piece with Engels, as we spoke about at half time. Nygren, for me, it was also a standout today. He just wants to be a near it to go and score goals, and he's done it time and time again for Celtic this season. Not in terms of 90 minutes, fantastic performances, but really affecting the game. And you just imagine if Celtic get this system right, he could be one that could really grow in this.
His timing's very good. Yep. He's timing into the box, and I mean it's an art, because a lot of people are in there waiting for things to happen. But he's always in the move as well. It's very difficult to defend that when someone's arriving later in the box, or they're in and around, and then it's a little movement 1 or 2 yards. He seems to always find space, Benjamin Nygren, but then Livingston back up front.
They do go back in front, and Craig, the right-hand side for Celtic was a problem defensively all day, with Yang, who's not naturally defensive, and Ralston playing in a position that he's not too familiar with, and they left the space and Montano took it.
Yeah, I mean, Livingston were pushing really hard at this stage in the game. I know it's fairly early on, but they're pushing fairly hard, and he's come in, Montano's come in at the back post, and kept the ball down, which is quite difficult when it skips up off this surface, And I don't know if the goalkeeper maybe could have got a touch on it, or maybe caught it with one hand.
But that looks like personnel being in unfamiliar positions on the football pitch. That's why it then leads to guys being obviously coming in too far, and then that ball coming to the back post, and Montano taking the space, and a fantastic.
It's the risk you take when you play a winger as a wing back.
But an interesting thing though on that, James, as well, because a lot of people look at the first goal and blame Yang for that as well. But it's nothing to do with Yang, because that's the way he's been told to get up the pitch. The square pass kills Celtic when they're on the attack. Then that one there, he's thinking, because I'm a defender, I need to get tucked in because I don't want to lose another one.
Is that just communication between the back?
It's not a natural position for him. I mean, his first thought is to go forward. I mean, anybody, Craig, you picked teams defenders, strikers going back, you just didn't want them there because they switch off. Their first thought is I want to get forward.
They're more of a hindrance
Yes.
than a help.
Yeah.
So I think the point is he's not switched off. He's not caught napping at the back post. He's actually gone in trying to help because he knows that that's his role. He's gone in too far.
Probably over-eager.
Probably. Could Ralston maybe turn open his body and tell him he doesn't need them? Potentially. These are things that will come over time. But, that is the risk you take because you want to get your winger playing in a wing-back, in the formation because you want to be go and attack. They do have to help defensively, but probably too keen to go in and help out his team. And for Livy, then they capitalise on it because it is a really good strike. Craig's right. It's coming across him. It then comes outside his body. All he has to do simply is make sure he gets a good contact, and he does that, and it's a brilliant finish.
Really good finish. Yang does make up for it though, just a few minutes later in this crazy start to this game, and in his more familiar position. It's a bit of a defensive mess really all over the place, but Yang, he's aware, he's sharp in the box.
Yeah, listen, his lovely feet awareness and amongst the chaos to then slot home, but I think that was the part of the game where Davy Martindale will be furious that they didn't manage to hold on to that lead and see how the game went and made Celtic force things and then look to counter-attack. But from an attacking point of view,
that's the other side of it.
Yeah.
It's a winger that's playing wing back that gets in the position you want your winger to be.
And it's dead easy just to snatch at that and it gets blocked, but he has that presence of mind to obviously shift it and slot it home.
The similarities between Ange Postecoglou and Wilfried Nancy in terms of the numbers getting forward. Ange Postecoglou had better players at the top end of the pitch that would have killed the game off. And maybe managers are looking at it and thinking, you know what, they're not there at the level right now. We can exploit that, the other side of it. Because every manager's got to, what's the best way to try and cause down the side, ask questions of them. I mean, there's not really much of a difference with Celtic defending from the both managers as well, because the two full-backs were really high, and even one of the centre-backs from Ange Postecoglou's team went and went right in the middle of the pitch as well. So a lot of times, but because he had better players, the opposition hardly got it back. Right now, Celtic, they're just in that transition period, and you feel as if Wilfried Nancy gets a couple of players in at the top end of the pitch, and maybe a couple in that midfield area as well, in the wide areas, to accommodate his style, Celtic, because the chances they're creating, you'd expect teams, the fear factor might come back, and all of a sudden then they drop further off and long balls up the pitch. They're not going to have strikers, they're not going to have midfielders going to chase because they're going to have to run 40, 50 yards back to stop the Celtic attack after that.
Yeah, well, the real bit of quality in the first half did come from Benjamin Nygren, who is a player that perhaps has struggled to get a real position in the Celtic team. He's played out wide, he's played in the 10. Is he finding his best position in this system?
He was really good today. He was. I mean, he's got himself in a nice little pocket in there, and that's a difficult finish. Because he's not just leathered it, he's actually arced it towards that far corner. And I mean, you see here, it's a couple of inches to the right, it hits the post and comes out. But I mean, it's a fantastic goal. It is a fantastic
I think
goal.
that's a great point on, he has struggled because he's played wide right, he's played as an 8, and every time that he's in that position, it seems that he wants to come back and go on his left foot. This system may help him flourish because he can play almost free where he can decide when he comes into a wide area, decide when he pops up on the left, decide when he can go and gamble because I mean, they don't have the security because they can see chances, but in theory they have the security behind them. But the one thing that and the guys have mentioned is knowing where to be, knowing how to go and affect the game and score goals. He has an eye for goal, and certainly that's real quality there he's shown.
Yeah, real quality. Now the contentious issue in the first half, which is the penalty that was awarded. Chris, you said no penalty. James, you said penalty. Craig, you were a little bit on the fence. So Scott, let's clear it all up. Is this a penalty or not?
For me, I don't think it is a penalty. I just think it's a hard one. It's a slight nudge, but I still think I would still expect my defender at least.
Listen, there'll be people sitting here saying that it's the exact same as Scales. It's not. There is a shove there from Mike Aid in the back. Listen, in terms of the arm is up.
It's not
100%.
It's not
100%. It hits his arm, but there's a shove in the back.
Do you think it's enough to call it a shove?
That's not enough.
Well, two hands in somebody's back's a shove.
That's not a foul. For me, look, I totally get the point that there is contact, but I just don't know if there's enough. I think that's maybe a get out defensively to say that that's a shove. I'd say there's a nudge in the back. I think you're going to get contact. I'm not sure that's a foul. I'm not sure it's a foul. And his arm's outstretched. Whether it's deliberate or not doesn't matter. His arm's outside his body. I just don't feel that there's enough for for that to be given as a foul.
Yeah, well, that was...
Does the nudge make his...
So it's no penalty?
Not a foul on the defender.
Do you think the nudge makes his hand come out?
No, his hand's already out, but he's pushed towards it and his hand goes up a little bit. For me,
So it's a penalty then if his arm's already out?
Listen, I have said it's been consistent. The referees have been consistent with the handball, which fine, fair enough, but there is a shove there before it hits his hand. So we don't know if it's because of that or not, but there is a shove there to push him towards the ball.
That was checked by VAR, and then
everything's checked.
Also, Matthew McDermott went and had a look at it in the screen, and he decided that he didn't make the right decision on the field of play, and that he should award the penalty.
Well, it's a tough one to see as well, though.
You know, this one has been given a second look at. So, do you understand why he changed his opinion?
No.
No.
It's a blatant push.
But there's an arm on the back in Maida as well, which isn't a foul. For me, I don't think it's too big.
Yeah,
I know.
You know, it happens as pushing and shoving is part of what happens in the penalty box. And even now, you players holding on to each other. You know, so the opposition don't get free headers. So there's so many things going on inside that penalty box. You know, how many players are in there? 18 players maybe in the penalty box, and there's all the jostling going on that goes on at every corner.
But there's only one man pushing.
I agree.
Wilfried, congratulations. How do you feel that went today?
Really good reaction. Obviously, we came back twice from behind, so this is something that I like to see, because we didn't quit. We find a way to come back, so I like that. And after that, we scored the goal that we wanted to score. We had many chances, but we created a lot, so I was happy. And the second half could have been better. I would like my team to have more control. And we had the possession, yes, but when I talk about control, is to be able to install when this is the good moments. And sometimes we rushed a bit. But I like the spirit that I saw in second half, because they pushed a little bit more. And but the spirit was spot on. But I would like to see a little bit more better things with the ball collectively. I mean,
does that show a belief now building in the team that when you get those setbacks early on, you can recover? Maybe a few weeks ago you had some setbacks and it proved difficult. Does that show that things are moving in the right direction?
Yes, like I said since the beginning, every game I saw an improvement, and now the game of today I can be more demanding, you know, because I think that we can do better. So now this is the part of the process, the part of the improvement that we have to get better at, and I think the player felt it a bit. But like I said, sometimes we can disconnect. It was not easy because they do a man-to-man all over the pitch, so we found ways at certain moment to unbalance them. But like I said, I think that we could have been a little bit better to install and to be more fresh for the second game, the next game that we're going to play.
How confident are you that just comes in time, with more training ground time, or other solutions that you need to find?
No, listen, again, this is it's a learning process for me to learn a little bit more the players, with the ways they behave when we are behind, when we are ahead, when we need to control the game a little bit better. So every minute, every games, every time that I can see and evaluate, not evaluate, but to see my players in different scenario, for me this is really good, because I'm learning a lot to see after that how can I adjust better, you know, regarding the next game or during the game.
How do you feel about the fact your team cut the gap at the top of the table today?
Oh, good for the players, but like I said, for me it doesn't change anything, because I'm more focused on the task, and but obviously we are pleased to be there, and but again, this is too early to talk about anything. So, but I'm happy that we're able to get good results in a difficult pitch and context also.
You have another big game around the corner. Is Kasper Schmeichel going to be okay for that one?
Yeah, no problem.
So to sum up then, a good day's work on a tough venue. We spoke before about the pitch and the surroundings and how tough it could be. Satisfied overall? Yes,
really good spirit. Again, I'm not here to motivate my player. I'm here to help them to find solution. And today, the way they motivated themselves, you know, they were really good. You know, regarding before the game, during the game, halftime also, to stay focused on what we can control. And I'm really happy with the spirit. Really good spirit.
Thank you. Well done.
Thank you.